Hey guys, it's Joe, and I'm here to walk you through the process of optimizing your bulk mail settings in Microsoft Defender for Office. To get started, we're going to navigate to the Microsoft Defender XDR portal. Under Email and Collaboration, we're going to select Policies and Rules. We're going to go into Threat Policies here. Now, before we go in and customize policies, I always want to point out we do recommend preset security policies whenever possible. The way these work is that if you have a Microsoft Defender Suite license or Defender for Office a la carte license, you will always have built-in protection enabled. If you enable standard protection, most of the bulk and spam is just going to go to your junk mail folder. If you enable strict protection, really it's much tighter controls. Everything would go to quarantine instead of junk. You can still exclude users from these settings if you wanted to create custom policies, so it's not an all or nothing. But I do recommend most of my clients to go ahead and get started with standard. This way, Microsoft will always have the best practices configured all the time, and you never have to go in there and configure anything. So it's really truly set and forget. Now, if you're a larger organization and if you have custom needs, you may need to actually configure custom policies. So for example, in anti-spam policies, maybe you want to have some users have a more aggressive bulk mail filter, while others users have a less aggressive. So here's an example where we've got an enhanced BCL filter and an intensive BCL filter. In this case, the enhanced filter, I've got it set to a 5. The default is a 7. Now you may ask, well, what's the difference between a 5 or a 7? And that's where we're going to show you the new bulk mail insights. So we have this slider option here that allows us to determine what would happen if we adjusted, say, from the default 7 down to, say, a more aggressive 4. It's going to let us know that 2,000 messages would have been identified as bulk, and therefore the bulk action that we set below would take effect. We now have the ability to identify exactly which emails would be affected with the new bulk senders insight report. Clicking that reveals a report that allows us to run simulations. So if my current bulk mail threshold is a 5 and I want to see what a 4 would do, I can then click simulate and it would let me know what messages might actually start to get blocked. So this raises a question, how can we find out for an individual email what the BCL value is? By opening up the potential bulk message, we go to File, Properties. We can copy the header out, and then we can inspect the header looking for what the BCL value is. In this particular case, this message had a BCL score of 3. And if this is a message that I want to block, maybe for one particular sender, I can actually configure a custom policy for one particular user at a particular threshold. And there you have it. That's how we configure bulk mail settings. And we looked at the new bulk mail insight report. And we also looked on how to triage and troubleshoot bulk mail. Thank you.